They said she didn't belong. But 10 years later, her name was on the front gate. Amara Johnson never planned on revenge. She didn't dream of power. She just wanted to learn. That's all. But when they slammed the door in her face, she didn't cry. She didn't beg. She built something they could never take away. The year was 2012. A dusty Monday morning in Atlanta. Summer hadn't let go yet, and the heat clung to everything. Amara walked into Jefferson High School with her usual quiet confidence. 17 years old, braids pulled back, backpack full of worn-out books and big dreams. She wasn't rich. She didn't have the latest clothes or flashy sneakers, but she had a brain like a steel trap and grades nobody could touch. She was supposed to be in honors economics that semester. She'd worked hard for it, aced every test, got glowing recommendations. But when she walked into that class on the first day, the air shifted. Mr. Elridge, the teacher, glanced up from the roll sheet and narrowed his eyes. "Can I help you?" "I'm here for honors econ, sir." "Amara Johnson." He looked back at the list, then slowly shook his head. "This class is full. You must be in the wrong room." She stepped forward. "My name's right there. I was accepted last spring." He sighed, his voice low but sharp. "There's been a change. We moved a few students into the general section. You've been reassigned." "But why?" He didn't answer. He looked past her like she didn't exist. A few kids snickered behind her. One whispered, "She probably got in by mistake." Another murmured, "They always try to sneak in." She felt it in her bones. That old familiar burn. The one you get when you know it's not about your performance. It's about your presence. She walked out, face straight, but inside she was shaking. They didn't even try to hide it. They just assumed she wasn't supposed to be there. And no one stood up for her. Not one. That night at home, her mom was ready to raise hell. "Let me call the school. Let me talk to someone." But Amara held her mom's hand and shook her head. "I don't want to force my way into a place that doesn't want me. I want to own it." Her mom blinked. "What do you mean?" "Someday, I'm going to buy that school. I'm going to change it from the inside out." Her mom laughed a little. But Amara didn't. She wasn't joking. For the rest of senior year, they left her out of everything. They said she wasn't leadership material. They gave student council president to someone else. She got passed over for scholarships she deserved. But she didn't fight for attention. She applied to colleges quietly, got accepted into Howard University with a full ride. Then she went to Harvard for her MBA. Every step, she moved with purpose. Not for recognition, for preparation. While others partied and posted selfies, she studied business models and learned how educational institutions were funded. She interned with nonprofit schools and watched how boards failed their students. By 25, she was consulting for school districts around the country. They wanted her ideas, her strategies, her mind. But that wasn't the mission. The mission was back in Atlanta. The mission was Jefferson High. It was falling apart by then. Teachers were quitting. Students were transferring out. The building was crumbling. There were rumors the district was going to shut it down or sell it off to a charter group. Amara made a few quiet calls. She found out the land was being put up for silent auction. A real estate shell company would handle the purchase. She smiled and made one more call. To her banker. When the auction opened, a buyer came forward immediately, offered the full price in cash. No questions asked. No haggling. The district agreed. The paperwork moved fast. They had no idea who the buyer was until the final signature. Amara Johnson. When the old principal heard the news, he thought it was a prank. When Mr. Elridge heard it, he choked on his coffee. The girl they removed from class now owned the school building, the land, and the rights to the name. She changed everything. The school reopened 2 years later under a new name, Johnson Academy, and it looked nothing like the Jefferson High she had walked into as a teenager. The walls were bright and full of art. The classrooms had brand new tech. The library was twice the size and open on weekends. But most importantly, the staff was different, diverse, trained, passionate. She made sure every student who walked through those doors was told one thing on day one: you belong here. There were mentorship programs, free lunch for every kid, scholarships funded by alumni, after-school coding, music production, even mental health resources. Students thrived. She didn't run it like a business. She ran it like a revolution. And the community noticed. Enrollment exploded. Parents volunteered. Local businesses offered internships. Even colleges started scouting Johnson Academy students early. But Amara didn't seek attention. She refused interviews at first. She turned down magazine covers. She wasn't doing this for press. She was doing this because she remembered what it felt like to be unseen. The first time she stepped onto the new campus as CEO, she wore a simple black suit. Nothing flashy. No speech prepared. She just walked the halls, nodding at the students. One girl stopped her. "Excuse me, are you the founder?" "Yes." The girl grinned. "My name's Nia. I just wanted to say thanks. I used to hate school. But this place? It makes me feel like I matter." Amara bent down. "You do. And if anyone ever tells you different, send them to me." She stood up, kept walking. And for the first time in years, she felt peace. A few months later, she got an invitation. Jefferson High was hosting an alumni reunion. Before it shut down for good, they wanted to honor past teachers and students. She didn't plan to attend, but her assistant nudged her. "Maybe you should go. Just for closure." She thought about it and said yes. The event was small. Dimly lit gym. Folding chairs. Old banners. Mr. Elridge was there, older now, thinner. He recognized her instantly. He walked up slowly, a paper plate in one hand. "Amara?" She nodded. "You've done well," he said. She didn't smile. "I had to." He looked down. "I was wrong back then. I was blind to what you were capable of." She waited. "I hope you can forgive me," he said. She studied him. "I don't need to forgive you. I outgrew you." He nodded quietly. She turned and walked away. Not because she hated him, but because she no longer needed anything from him. She had her closure. She had her legacy. 10 years later, Johnson Academy expanded. 3 more campuses across the state. Thousands of students served. National awards. Programs replicated in other cities. And one day, when a young black girl in a rural town was told she couldn't take advanced math, she wrote a letter to Johnson Academy. That letter landed on Amara's desk. She flew out to meet the girl in person, talked with her parents, arranged a full scholarship. Because that's what leaders do. Not leaders in title, leaders in spirit. Leaders who remember what it feels like to be kicked out of rooms they earned. Amara never asked for revenge. She didn't need payback. She needed impact. And that's exactly what she created. They tried to silence her. She built a platform. They tried to move her aside. She paved her own lane. They kicked her out. She bought the place. And she made sure no one else would ever be denied a seat again. So if you've ever been told you don't belong, don't shrink. Don't beg. Don't explain yourself. Grow so tall they can't look over you. Build something so strong they can't tear it down. And one day, when they walk into the building you created, they'll know exactly who you are. If this story gave you chills, if you saw yourself in Amara, then do one thing. Hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel for more stories about transformation, power, and rising from where you were never supposed to. And in the comments, tell us, have you ever been underestimated? Because here, we don't wait for permission. We create our own legacy. This is Voices of Black, and we're just getting started.